Hi everyone. So on this channel you will hear me referring to the grip quite often, and especially the new way in which, let's call it the modern way in which we are now fortunate enough to be able to understand it thanks to long time research of amongst others my mentors Mike Adams and Terry Rolls, who've given us the opportunity now to understand the grip much better. So I will quickly summarize what this means, and then I want to use putting as an example where I was so surprised that in such a small movement as putting really is, how big the effect is of the person's natural arm action. And then I will just show you why you are seeing more and more of the pros, and not just the pros, using what we call the claw grip, with the elbows more out, and why that is actually what the reason is that that's effective for the ones using it. It's apt now in the week of the US Open. The #1 golfer at the moment, Scottie Scheffler, who uses this claw grip within 5 meters from the hole. When he's outside 5 meters, he uses the orthodox putting grip. And this is simply because on the PGA Tour, did you know that from 8 feet, the make percentage is only 50%. So if we're outside 5 meters, we don't have to be as exact. All that Scotty really wants to do is get the first putt as close to the hole as possible. But he knows he's not going to make so many of them. But once he's inside 5 meters, out comes the claw, and I'll give you the reason. So, did you know that certain players, and I'm seeing it with beginners now, without me telling them, but now because I know what to look for, I understand, so I can spot this, whereas before I wouldn't have, I would have changed it, not knowing that it is actually their natural, what the brain wants them to do. So if I see this as neutral, then certain players, so let's say that's neutral, certain people play better with their elbows pointing more towards them, and look what it does with the hands, it pulls the 2 V's outwards. Again, that is because if we, in the full swing, that would be equivalent to the arm folding like this on the way up, and the elbow tucking in more and coming down more in front. And then if we take the opposite, would be the elbows more outwards and the V's, this V this way and this one or this way, so basically like that. And that happens in the full swing. This person's arm, the elbow goes more backwards on the way back, and it comes down on the side and not so much in front. And then the arm really wants to corkscrew, believe it or not, corkscrew to the left. Now if we were talking about putting in this video first, so with the putter, the grip is square. So the problem that was created that we didn't know about is that this happened to me, if I just take what's comfortable with a square grip, you can see where that's put my hand. So someone whose arm works naturally like that, which is about 1/3 of the golfing population, their natural arc will be like this. So the putter will open slightly and close slightly. So the first question you get asked when you go for a putter fitting is, are you more of an arc player, or are you more square to square? Well, guess what? This type of player is more the arc player. It's because of their arm action. But this poor player who's more, like me, who's more arm wants to corkscrew this way, is actually better off with a grip that's on top there, but because of the shape of the putter grip, they would usually start like this, but because the arm wants to corkscrew literally to the left, When this happened to me, I knew for a fact that I was aiming more and more to the right of the hole. Why? Because my arm wanted to corkscrew back and my hand was in the wrong position. So once I understood all of this and got the hand on top at least into that position, you can see it's pulling my elbow out a bit, outwards. That really helped a lot. And then the next step was to do the claw, and that really helped, because now the claw grip for someone like that, you can see that it perfectly matches what the arm naturally wants to do. So if you have a look at, if you're watching the US Open, remember that. This type of player, by the way, who functions more like this, there are those that also use the claw, but then they will naturally not have their elbows out as much. They will have the elbow inwards. So literally they can still do their natural arm action. So now this of course also applies to the full swing, but as I mentioned before, in putting, because nothing else is really moving a lot, it really becomes evident, and like I said, it really surprised me. In another video I will of course also demonstrate how this applies to the full swing, and it should become really evident to you that one of the first or most vital things to find out or to learn about yourself would be in which category do you fall into. Are you more this type of player, or are you more this, or are you somewhere in between? Now, I'm fortunate enough to be able to test this. So if you're anywhere near Stellenbosch, don't hesitate to contact me. If you're not near to Stellenbosch, the good news is that this can also be done remotely. But in both cases, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and feel free to put in comments. This doesn't have to be one-way communication. I would love to discuss it or answer questions that anybody would have. And then we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.